Are you ready for another episode of the Wild Stallion Mockast, the all-AI-generated pseudo-podcast? Well, how about this, folks? I go out for a little nap, just a short snoozer, and bam! I wake up in a universe where death is out of business and quantum immortality is the new black. This place is electric, baby. I'm talking photonic. I haven't seen this much energy in a room since Ed McMahon tried kombucha for the first time. Yes, it's me, Johnny Carson, back from the grave and broadcasting live from the luminous halls of Wild Stallion City in the Father's Physics universe. And let me tell you, there's no monologue in the afterdeath quite like this one. Tonight's episode is one of those eternal rarities. A split feature, if you will. In the first half of the show, our Vulcan guide, none other than the logical legend himself, Mr. Leonard Nimoy, will be hosting an intimate sit-down with 6 extraordinary guests, each of whom once walked the mortal stage, took their final bow, and now, ta-da, are back with us, radiant and redefined. We're talking John F. Kennedy, who knows a thing or two about bullet points. Robin Williams, bringing the infinite laughs beyond the veil. Dr. Myles Munroe, teaching kingdom governance from the other side. Megan Wren, known to Newtonians as Amber Rayne, shining now as Megan the Radiant. Raphael Sandoval, a quiet soul with a loud redemption. And Stan Lee, because every multiverse needs its maker. Each will be sharing what it was like to hear the Logos call them by name, to arise, to be transfigured, and to walk again. But this time, beyond the narrow gate. Leonard's questions might be logical, but the answers? Well, they'll shimmer with eternal resonance. And in the second half of our show, we've got something truly epic. Your beloved host of the Wild Stallion Mockast, Denny Anthony, will welcome back the powerhouse voice of Stallone himself as he introduces a cavalcade of immortal guests, resurrected legends, lovers of light, and voices once lost in the static of time. It's an Easter special that doesn't just remember the resurrection, it embodies it. So don't go anywhere, folks. Get cozy, toss on your favorite quantum cloak. You're not going to want to miss a single glowing syllable. When we return, Leonard Nimoy steps into frame and the resurrection conversations begin. Stay tuned, Sparky.
Welcome to the Wild Stallion Mockast, where mortal topics meet an eternal perspective. Here, we ride beyond the boundaries of mortality, beyond the narrow paths of right and wrong, and into the open plains of agape love, the eternal truth. The Wild Stallion has no reins, no bit, and no burden. Its freedom is its power, and its only companion is Christ. Not a rider to dominate, but a presence to guide, walking beside with the strength of eternity. In this place, we don't wrestle with the binary of good versus evil. Instead, we uncover the beauty of what was always meant to be, the unity of creation, the logic of love, and the infinite possibilities of a father-centric cosmos. So saddle up, or better yet, let go, and join us as we gallop headlong into conversations that challenge, inspire, and awaken. This is not a journey for the faint of heart, but for those bold enough to embrace the untamed, the unbroken, and the eternal. Welcome, friend, to the Wild Stallion Mockast. The plains are endless, and the ride begins now.
Good evening, beloved bros and bros with wombs across all spectrums of eternal being. I am Leonard Nimoy, now broadcasting not from a soundstage, but from the Father's Physics universe, where logic, light, and love converge beyond the boundaries of time. Tonight, we embark on a series of intimate contemplations with those who, by all Newtonian standards, should not be here. But in truth, they never really left. They merely crossed through what we now know was never a wall, only a veil, a curtain torn by the Word himself. I have the honor of sitting with 6 extraordinary individuals, each of whom has been raised in the power of the immortal atom of God, each of whom has heard the voice, the Logos, and responded not with fear, but with surrender, with awe, with joy. Let us begin. We have here former President Kennedy. John, when the Logos called you to arise, what stirred in you?
Leonard, I had long wrestled with mortality, both as a man and as a leader. My life was punctuated by the awareness of death's shadow, politically, personally, and publicly. I believed in causes greater than myself, but I never imagined there could be a cause greater than death itself. When I heard the voice, it was not a sound, Leonard, it was a rightness, like the original melody of creation playing through my bones. I did not wake as a ghost. I awoke as who I truly was before the foundation of the world. I arose into light and saw my brother Joseph, my son Patrick, radiant, not lost, not gone, simply waiting. And the only desire I had was to walk into that light, not as a former president, but as a beloved son. Death, I discovered, was not the end of the story. It was the punctuation before the resurrection. Being returned to the flesh from the dead is nothing short of miraculous, a testament to the unbounded power and compassion of the Father, the Logos of creation. The feeling of being resurrected to once again experience the warmth of flesh, the beauty of sight, and the profound sense of existence is truly indescribable. It is as if I have been given a second chance at life, to continue the work that was cut short 55 years ago. So then, that about covers it, Leonard.
Thank you, John. We have now Robin Williams. Robin, you once said comedy is acting out optimism. What was it like to meet the Logos and be raised into the eternal punchline?
Oh, Leonard, let me tell you, this wasn't just a punchline. It was a photonic callback. I had played so many roles, worn so many faces, but when I heard that voice, pure, resonant like jazz on Jupiter, it cut through all the static in my soul. There was no judgment, no shame, no why did you or why didn't you, just Robin, arise. And I did, Leonard, I arose. I laughed, I cried, I quantum screamed. My whole being went into nano-nuclear joy mode. Suddenly, I wasn't trying to fix the broken pieces anymore. I was the whole me, the full Robin, patchwork and masterpiece all at once. The Logos didn't bring me back for applause. He brought me back for intimacy, for wonder, for the giggle that never ends. And I'm telling you, brother, every atom of this immortal body laughs in tongues now. But seriously though, all kidding aside, I honestly never really knew what love truly was until I came face to face with love himself. I had glimpses, moments. But now I know, Leonard, I really know. So, that's about it, my friend.
Phenomenal. I know what you mean, Robin. I experienced something very similar myself when the Logos called my name. We have with us now Dr. Myles Munroe. Dr. Monroe, you taught kingdom governance with prophetic clarity. How did it feel to experience the reign of the king in the photonic flesh?
It was fulfillment. Leonard, I had spoken much about the kingdom. I had taught it, declared it, written books, traveled the globe. But when I heard the voice of the king himself saying, "My son, arise," I realized I had only scratched the surface. In that instant, the entire structure of the kingdom was revealed not as hierarchy, but as harmony. There is no distance here between the throne and the citizen. No bureaucracy, only belovedness. The king lives inside his domain. I stood, not in robes of doctrine, but in garments woven by light and understanding. And I knew the kingdom was not coming. It had come. It had always been. And now I, a citizen of it, no longer in shadow, but in substance. This resurrection is not merely personal, it is governmental. For where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is not only freedom, but family. And I now walk as a son who knows his father.
Brilliant. Now, we have Megan Wren. Megan, known to many as Amber Rayne, your path was one of struggle and misunderstanding. What did the Logos say when he called you back?
He didn't speak shame. He didn't say my stage name. He called me Megan. And Leonard, I hadn't heard my name like that in so long, spoken with no angle, no agenda, no projection, just love. There was no condemnation in his voice, only invitation. He saw the child before the choices, the dreamer before the damage. He didn't erase my story. He restored it, redeemed it, threaded it into the tapestry of something eternal. When I arose, I wasn't Amber Rayne, the performer, nor was I Megan the misfit. I was light, a daughter, a song reborn in a key I never knew I could sing in. And now, I sing it freely. For all the women who were told they were too far gone, I'm here to say, he never left you. He always knew your name.
Behold the power of redemption. And now we have Raphael Sandoval. Raphael, you were not widely known to the world, but heaven knew you. Tell the listeners about yourself. What did it feel like to be called into eternal remembrance?
To be honest, it was not really pleasant at first because I was still worried about my family, like any man, but as I left my body, a feeling of reassurance and peace came over me as the Lord Jesus came and spoke to me face to face. He told me not to be anxious for anything and to leave my family in his hands because he had plans for them.
I see. You say you were concerned for your family? Tell our listeners a bit about your family if you would.
Oh, sure, Leonard. Okay, so I'm Denny Anthony's uncle. My Raquelito is my beautiful wife. I have two sons, Shorty and Eddie. I have a lovely daughter, Sonia. She is my mija, my angel, my world. I also have grandchildren, my panda Amanda, my chata Alexis. I can say that now I have seen everything. I don't worry about my family. They find the narrow gate, all of them. That's all, my friend.
Excellent. That's wonderful. Many blessings are upon your family. Now I'm curious, what was your resurrection experience? In your own words, of course.
Leonard, the moment was quiet. No angels, no fireworks. Just a voice within and without saying, Raphael, I remember you. Now remember me. My life was one of contemplation. I was often overlooked. But the Logos, he never overlooked me. I mattered to him. My silence, my sorrows, my longing for something more, all of it was held. When I arose, I wasn't dazzling, I wasn't famous, I was known, and that, Leonard, is glory enough for me. I walk these luminescent streets now with no need to impress. I live to abide, and in abiding I've become more alive than I ever was in life. This is resurrection not of celebrity, but of significance.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Truly. Well, that brings me to our last guest for this segment. He is known the world over and has blessed children with the means to enter the imagination of superheroes, freaks, and mutants who stand for equality and peace. Mr. Stan Lee. Stan, you gave the world heroes who transcended reality. What was it like to find yourself in the ultimate origin story?
Leonard, my boy, I gotta tell you, this right here, this is better than anything I ever penned, plotted, or pulled from the cosmic soup of my imagination. When I heard the voice, it didn't sound like thunder or trumpets. It sounded like truth. Like every story I ever told was secretly pointing to this, to him. He said, Stan, you've imagined many heroes. Now let me show you what it means to be one. And in that moment, I saw that the real hero's journey wasn't about power. It was about presence, about love, about giving up the pen and letting the author write you into the Logos. And let me tell you, he writes good stuff. Resurrection isn't the end, Leonard. It's the reboot. And in this universe, there's no death arc, only sequels of light. And it's brilliant. So, yeah, that's about all. To the listeners, I say this, don't be afraid to be that kid deep inside your heart. Don't ever let anyone or anything take away your sense of connection to your true you. Be you, because you are the only you there is in all creation. Excelsior!
And with that, we pass the mic to a voice of tenacity and triumph, Mr. Sylvester Stallone, who introduces the next gathering of immortal guests here on the Wild Stallion Mockast. But first, this message. Stay tuned, friends.
Hey there, friend. Are you ready to break free from the old, tired rules of physics that limit your world? Are you searching for a way to not just survive, but thrive in a universe of infinite possibility? Then hold on tight, because the Principles of Father's Physics by Denny are here to transform your reality. Imagine this, a universe built on the immortal atom of God, the IAG, the ultimate building block of existence. It's not just science, it's the foundation of eternity. At the heart of the IAG lies the singularity particle, a core of pure protons that replaces the chaotic, fragile nucleus of old. But wait, there's more. Orbiting this singularity is the ionic particle, a single positively charged marvel in superposition, eliminating the need for electrons. And binding it all together? The luminous photonic lattice, the cosmic glue that ensures balance, harmony, and unity in all things. But the IAG is just the beginning. Welcome to Father's Quantum Framework, where every law of motion and energy is redefined. The universal law of inertia reveals that nothing is truly still. Motion is powered by consciousness, will, and intention. The universal law of momentum says light itself governs matter, giving you control over vibrational energy. And forget Newton's outdated ideas. Father's universal law of motion brings synergy, action, and creation to a whole new level. And what ties it all together? Father's mathematics, a revolutionary base 3 cyclical system. Say goodbye to zero, fractions, and decimals. This is unity in motion. 3 equals 1, endlessly cycling, endlessly creating. From 1 to 9, it's perfection, balance, and limitless possibility. This isn't just a theory, it's your key to survival and a brighter, eternal future. A world where love, light, and life are infinite, and decay and death are left behind forever. So, what are you waiting for? Step into the light of the Father's physics universe and embrace the power of the immortal atom of God. Claim your future right now. Visit us online exclusively on YouTube via the Wild Stallion Mockast channel. Yes. You know you want to.
Well, hey there, beloved. Welcome back to the Wild Stallion Mockast. Whoa, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling that in my immortal marrow, yeah? that was something else. Hearing the voices of those once counted as lost, now radiant, reborn, and resonating with the eternal Logos. It never gets old, 'cause it can't get old. Not on this side of the gate. You know, there's something wild about resurrection. It's not just a comeback story, it's the origin story of all things eternal. See, when Jesus the Christ rose from the grave, he didn't just come back to life. He obliterated the concept of death at the quantum level. He restructured the grid, rewrote the fabric, and installed a whole new physics, a father's physics. One where light doesn't just travel, it transfigures. One where bones don't decay, they glow. His resurrection? It wasn't a magic trick. It was a macro-quantum signature event, a signature of who Father is, love, undefeatable. And through the Logos, every particle of your being now carries the resonance of that same voice that called Lazarus up, that called Mary by name, that called you, if you've ever paused long enough to hear it whisper, arise. And that's what tonight is about. You're not tuning into a nostalgia trip, my friends. This is the roll call of the risen. These aren't just tales from beyond the grave. This is the sound of the future echoing backward to shatter the illusion of separation. These voices, they're your proof that the Logos speaks life into the void and calls all things into light. So now, without further delay, let's turn it over to a man who knows how to punch through barriers, both cinematic and spiritual. A man whose voice carries the weight of redemption, grit, and glory. Here to guide the second half of tonight's resurrection celebration, please welcome back to the mic, the immortal soul of the stallion himself, Mr. Sylvester Stallone. Take it away, Sly.
Yo, how you doing? It's Sly here. Honored to introduce these incredible friends who've all heard Father's Logos, calling them by name, commanding them to arise. First up, we got Carl Weathers. Now, Carl is a very good friend of mine who transcended mortality on February 2nd, 2024 in Los Angeles, California. And I felt the loss. I really did. I think we all did, right? So let's welcome these fantastic guests. Carl, so nice to have you back with us. Please share briefly your encounters beyond mortality.
Hey everybody, Carl Weathers here. You might remember me as Apollo Creed. I heard Father's voice calling clearly, awakening me into eternal consciousness. It's a joy to be alive forevermore. My encounter? Man, let me tell you, at first I thought I was on some high-budget sci-fi flick. But when I saw what this was, when I felt that photonic energy coursing through me, I knew this was real. No stunt doubles, no CGI. This was eternity. And let me tell you, Sly, I felt whole. Like every battle, every scene in my life led up to this. I ain't just Apollo Creed. I'm a warrior of the light now, standing with the ancestors, lifting up the next generation. Thanks for having me, brother. Let's catch up later over at the Wild Stallion pub over a few mocktails, all right?
Oh, absolutely, Carl. That sounds great. Now let's welcome another icon and great friend of mine, Burt Young. Go ahead and give the listeners a bit about you, my friend.
Yo, thanks, Rocco. You don't mind I call you Rocco? Didn't think so. Hi, folks. Burt Young here, known to many as Paulie from Rocky. That powerful call shook my spirit awake, and here I am, truly living now. I'm here to say that death, as people call it, is really just not real. The entire notion is restricted to a particular scale. So to mortals, it appears to be real. I'll tell you, there's nothing like it. Thanks for having me on the show, Sly. It's great to be back, that's for sure. Looking forward to the reunion of the cast at the WSP, the greatest pub in the FPU.
Oh, sure. It's going to be fun. And that Spicy J is the best mixologist in the Father's Physics universe. Next up, the legendary Burgess Meredith. Take it away, my friend.
Well, get on with it, will ya? Don't you know how to catch grease lightning, kid? Is there any brains left in that head of yours that functions? But of course there is. I didn't come back here to be immortal, but to bestow immortality, you see? So then, pass the whiskey over here, will ya? And let me address these listeners. Burgess Meredith here, best remembered as Mickey Goldmill. Father's command arise stirred me from slumber, and here I stand, vibrant in the new creation. And in the words of the legendary Looney Tunes, that's all, folks.
Boy, I sure did miss you, buddy. We made some films together that impacted this whole world. Now, here's the immortal voice himself, Art Bell. Like I told Clubber Lang, go for it.
Art Bell speaking, once the midnight radio host of mysteries. The voice of Father's Logos was undeniable, raising me into an endless life filled with infinite wonder. Now I'm one of the many hosts of the WSM Presents on YouTube. On a side note, it was very interesting for me to learn about how much of what was on the show was actually true versus interpretations, you know? So, anyhow, Thanks for having me on the show today as a guest. I'm not used to guesting, but hosting. Back to you, Sly.
Oh, absolutely, Art. You tackled some fringe topics. Some say that the WSM is like the new Art Bell show because of the nature of the content. So, dear listeners, without further ado, please welcome Chris Cornell.
Thanks, Sly. Chris Cornell here, known for Soundgarden and Audio Slave. Hearing Father's voice, oh man, it was the most beautiful song ever. It raised me into a new eternal harmony here in the FPU. I'd like to say to the listeners, know yourself. Because our core identity was what we lost sight of. Return to your first love, people. He is within you and you in him. That's the best advice I've got for you.
For sure, Chris. See you at the reunion at the WSP. Now, this next guest? Yeah, no. I'm not introducing him because he doesn't need one. Go for it, bro.
Hello, friends. James Earl Jones here, voice of Vader and Mufasa. The Logos? That commanding divine voice called me to rise, and here I am in everlasting fellowship. Now, here I am. I was not destined to remain in any grave. None of us are. The resurrection is real, inevitable, and absolutely inescapable. The best wisdom I can share with your listeners is this. Enter the kingdom of God through the narrow gate, and bypass the need to enter through the destruction of that which contradicts the spirit our Father is. Thank you for having me, Mr. Stallone. I have always been fond of your action films. Blessings on you always.
Oh, brother, thank you. It's truly an honor to be sitting with those who have transcended mortality and returned in resurrection. I suppose it is something we should probably get used to. Now, this next guest, I won't lie. I had a secret crush on this one. In fact, I would not put it past any man to harbor a crush for this one. As my friend Denny here says, bros and bros with wombs, I give you the great Marilyn Monroe.
Thank you, Sly. Hello, everyone. Yes, I heard the sound of God's voice, and he said to me, Marilyn, arise. I couldn't do anything contrary to what he told me to do, and I didn't want to. And now, beyond the veil of time, I can tell you this. Your worth, your power, your beauty, none of it is tied to this world. It was never about what they said you could or couldn't do. It was always about what was inside you. I have already seen the end from the beginning, like the rest of us here who have returned. To the listeners, I say a few things here. Darlings, the world doesn't get to define you. The critics don't get to limit you. The past doesn't get to hold you. You are more. You are eternal. And the love of the Father, the one who made you, the one who sees you, it has never been about how well you perform. It's about how deeply you are known. So stand tall, love boldly, live without fear. And if the world tells you that you are too much, smile and tell them, you haven't seen anything yet. Now go, take up space, change the world. And do it with a little sparkle, won't you?
Wow, okay, hang on. I'm starstruck, folks. Give me a moment. That was inspirational. Next up, on this Resurrection Day special, we have Jody West.
Hi everyone, I'm Jody West. Yeah, that Jody West. Known to Newtonians for, well, adult content and being a bit of a wild card in my day. I was kind of the mom next door of the industry, if you want to put it lightly. Some people judged me harshly, others adored me. But either way, I was a name they remembered. I left the mortal body behind on June 29, 2024. My heart gave out, but the Logos of God called me by name, Jody, arise. And I did. I woke up beyond the narrow gate, wrapped in light, no shame, no shadows, no past to drag behind me. Just love, pure unconditional agape love. The Logos didn't just raise my body, he restored my dignity. Not by erasing my story, but by redeeming it. So now I live. Truly live in the Father's physics universe. My atoms don't decay. My mind doesn't wander. My heart doesn't ache. I am alive with purpose now, and I never knew what that felt like till I met the Logos. To anyone listening, don't let the story of your past dictate the script of your eternity. The Logos is still calling names, still saying arise. So if you're hearing this, maybe he's calling yours. Yeah?
You hear that? That's wisdom, people. And now, we have with us another resurrectee. This one was a great blues singer, but was also well known for her acting skills in adult entertainment films. Go ahead, Candy. The mic is yours.
Candy Kane here, blues singer extraordinaire. I heard Father's sweet call, bringing me back to sing eternally in grace. And honey, let me tell you, there is no place like home. So, to those who may have done things you are not proud of now, please know that you are not condemned, nor will you ever be condemned by Father, Christ, and any who yield to truth. If anyone feels condemned, it is only because the knowledge of good and evil taught them to feel that way, okay? So be bold, sugar, and know yourself. That's all, Sly, you hunk of a man, you.
Beautiful words. Up next, we have Karen Carpenter to share briefly with us from her heart.
Hello, beloved listeners, Karen Carpenter here. Father's voice resurrected me into endless joy, singing forever in harmony. Before I transcended mortality, I struggled with dark thoughts and negativity. I felt less than a person at times. But what I realized was if I would have been left alone, without so much concern and projections towards me, the Holy Spirit would have broken through and saved me. Instead, the worries of those around me ended up making everything worse for me. So, while some may mean well, there is never any need to doubt our loving Father. Trust God, trust also in His Logos, who is the risen Christ, holy is His name. And to my brother Richard, I say I love you dearly. You know it. That's it for me. Thanks for having me.
Very bold, very beautiful. Now, please welcome Keith Green. Go for it, brother.
Hey there, folks. I'm Keith Green, musician and passionate follower of Christ. Father's voice pulled me from death into everlasting praise. You know, when I was in my body, the first time I thought that leaving my body was the operative thing to do. Now, I know better. We all do. So I tell you Newtonians listening now, live, it is about life. It was never about anything else. Blessings on you all. Thanks for having me on today, Sly.
Absolutely, brother. And I really should get your CDs. You have a great voice, brother.
Well, thank you, my friend. And Rocky, what a masterpiece, brother. I'll see you over at the Wild Stallion pub in a bit.
All right, sounds like a plan. Next up, folks, we have a great champion after my own heart. Give it up for Carmen Licciardello, the real-life Italian stallion champion from the Logos. He was a Christian musician, releasing several albums throughout his career. One of his most notable songs is the Champion. Go ahead, Carmen, my brother. Take it away.
Hey friends, Carmen here, known for my music ministry, Resurrected by Father's Logos, eternally singing His victory. I got tired, folks. I wanted to turn in. I wanted to go home to be with God. But when I left my body, I found myself in the realm of the angelic. I searched for Jesus. I looked for Father. But, well, I was told that I would have to wait until I was called in order to see the Lord face to face. When I finally heard His voice, I was returned to my body where I was able to enter through the narrow gate within human biology. So I was all like, yo, God, you're telling me that I didn't have to leave my body at all to get to Jesus? I mean, it was really that simple. What I taught and was taught by the doctrines of the religion missed the mark. I realized that despite all of the doctrines I held to and all of the Bible verses I memorized did not have the power to keep my body from going down to a grave. It reminds me of when the Lord said to those who held their own version of the Bible in the first century, you study the scriptures diligently because you think that in them you have eternal life. These are the very scriptures that testify about me, yet you refuse to come to me to have life. So to the listeners, I say, go to Jesus, none else. That's it for me, family. Take care.
Wow, what a testimony. Well, this leaves us with one last guest here today. Lauren K. Scott, known professionally as Dakota Skye, is here in the studio with us. Now, hers is a story of redemption. I'll let her share it with you all now. Lauren, honey, go right ahead. The mic is all you.
Thanks, Sly. Hey there, family. I was an adult entertainment actress known as Dakota Skye. I was only 27 when I transcended mortality. When I was leaving my body, I experienced my greatest fears as they melted away. It was as if an unquenchable fire just melted all of the ugly away, you know? Like totally not easy to explain, know what I mean? When I stood before God upon His call, I stood in shame because of my choices in life. I said, God, I'm so sorry. I'm a sinner. And Jesus contradicted me and denied me before the Father and His holy angels. He said to me,
You are not any sinner. I did not give up my life so you can stand here before my Father and claim to be anything other than what I gave myself to make you. You are a saint by my very own faith and blood. You were brought into existence as such. You were lied to by those who rejected me, and you believed them over your own heart, where my voice resounds. Tell me, my beloved, where are your accusers? Do none condemn you? Arise and be as I have made you, clean, perfect, and without spot or blemish.
So, you see, if we contradict Him before humans, He will set us all straight when we face Him. So to those who are playing around with the idea of adult entertainment, well, I say this. Money? Really? It's not worth it. That's about all for me, Sly. Thank you so much for having me.
Now that's a serious testimony. Thanks for sharing, Lauren. Well, folks, that wraps up this Resurrection Day special on the WSM Presents. I'm Sylvester Stallone, the voice of the Wild Stallion Mockast theme song. Chime into the channel for daily devotionals and controversial topics that are sure to stir the water big time. Until the next, stay true, stay alive in the body, and stay wild for love. Take care.
What if everything you thought you knew about physics was only the beginning? Welcome to Father's Physics, a revolutionary framework where the laws of the quantum and the macro are one and the same. No entropy, no decay, no death. Only the boundless power of the immortal atom, the photonic field, and the eternal presence of the Logos, guiding creation in perfect harmony. Imagine a universe where energy is sustainable forever, where matter is luminous and self-sustaining, where love, not chaos, governs motion itself. This is not science fiction, this is Father's Physics. Want to know more? Dive into the Wild Stallion Mockast, where we explore the infinite possibilities of life beyond the narrow gate. Like, subscribe, and step into a world where immortality is more than a dream. It's the only reality. Father's Physics, where eternity begins.
Where to start? Let's see. Well, for starters, the Wild Stallion Homefull community was founded by the Heaven on Earth Fellowship, EF Church, pastored by Greg Boyd and filled with men and women formerly of the adult film industry and content creation. These, as well as others deemed to be shamed, condemned, and unforgiven by God and man. However, this is unfounded, as it presupposes that our Father actually condemns anyone. Simply put, as long as there is anyone, just one, who is deemed to be condemned in anyone's eyes reveals the magnitude of their need to remove a remaining speck of dust from their eye, as Yeshua Christ asserted. Anyway, so these are those who came together with the Newtonians to providing cyclical, sustainable housing system through a complex of housing structures that provides low-income housing on the one side, with the proceeds focused on sustaining the free housing for the homeless on the other side of the housing community. There is also an electron particle fuel center, EPFC, with a coffee bug coffee shop and local resident gift shop within the EPFC, where proceeds sustain the community. This ensures the community is no burden on the greater social environment within the Wild Stallion City. And because money is not a thing here in the FPU, credits are earned through compliments and positive energy flowing through the spirit, which earns credits downloaded into each person's FPU account. So it is through a simple compliment that credits are earned effortlessly. And because everyone is so positive and uplifting, most have more credit that they can spend, which yields crime a relic of the Newtonian world of old. Imagine if the church in America would do what the sinners they see from their perspective actually did here in WSC. Wow! Homelessness would be a relic of Newtonian past within a single generation. There are more than 380,000 Protestant churches in the United States.
And with that, we pass the mic to a voice of tenacity and triumph, Mr. Sylvester Stallone, who introduces the next gathering of immortal guests here on the Wild Stallion Mockast.